Toyota is a $228 billion company that controls over 10% of the automotive market. They're the world's leading automaker, both by market share and by volume. There are numerous cases of people recording well over 1 million miles of Toyotas. All of this raises the question, just how did Toyota become Toyota?
Good afternoon. Thank you for your warm welcome.
The thinking way, even from the beginning, is we're going to sell a lot of these trucks in Texas. Let's build them here.
A 1986 Toyota 4x4 Turbo.
私の見た夢を今度は 3000GT スープラ
On June 22, 2001, the world was introduced to The Fast and the Furious. The movie grossed over $200 million and spawned a 12-film franchise. It was unlike anything audiences had seen before. Prior to its release, movies about cars were almost exclusively centered around structured racing. But in the 90s, a new scene emerged.
Police cracked down on streetcar hot rodders after a near riot last night. 3,000 to 5,000 people jammed a small street and trouble erupted when the mob pelted and spat on a cruising police car.
Director Rob Cohen had read about illegal street racing in New York in a 1998 Vibe magazine article titled Racer X. Cohen, inspired by the article, contacted up-and-coming producer Neil Moritz to begin writing the script. They wanted this to be a different kind of racing film. They had help though. JDM cars, which stands for Japanese Domestic Market, became massively popular in the 90s as tuner culture rose in the United States. They were especially loved by the growing street racing culture on the West Coast. When it came time for the lead, Moritz offered Paul Walker, who had worked with Moritz on Skulls, the role of Brian O'Connor. It was an easy pick for the car, the massively popular Toyota Mark IV Supra. If the Supra was already popular before The Fast and the Furious, then it became massive after. People loved the incredible 2JZ twin-turbo engine. But more than anything else, it was easily customizable. You could make it look, sound, and perform however you want. On top of all that, it was the fastest car on the street in the 90s and early 2000s. The buzz and excitement surrounding the Supra, along with the success it brought with it, was not new to Toyota. Their story starts back in 1934. Under the direction of Kiichiro Toyota, Toyota Automatic Loom Works began manufacturing cars. Jump forward 30 years, and Japan has more than recovered from World War II with a booming economy. Now, many more people in Japan could afford a car thanks to the economic boom, as well as more affordable cars like the Toyota Corolla, which would become the best-selling car of all time. The Supra wasn't Toyota's first time hitting it big in the States either. 1965 brought about the Toyota Corona, a compact car whose American variant had a more powerful engine. The Supra also wasn't Toyota's introduction to performance-based cars. Running from 1967 to 69, the Toyota 2000 GT was their answer to the sleek and powerful European cars like Porsche and Ferrari. A brand known for their practical approach to cars, creating such an elegantly quick car revolutionized the way the automotive world viewed Toyota. However, just 8 years later, the United States had a crisis. A big one.
This is unreal. Isn't this disgusting? Why doesn't anybody contact the president? Why is he letting this happen to us?
Gas lines at many stations were a lot longer than normal.
Line today is longer than it's ever been.
This gas line at one station on the Upper West Side ran from 96th Street and West End Avenue all the way up to 102nd Street.
I think it's terrible. I really think it's terrible.
The 1970s energy crisis was primarily caused by the 1973 and later the 1979 crises. The Yom Kippur War and the Iranian Revolution played roles in disrupting oil exports from the Middle East. Prior to this, it was common for American cars to have big engines with poor efficiency. However, with rising gas prices, Americans started demanding smaller, more efficient cars. Domestic manufacturers struggled to meet the demand. Toyota, however, was positioned perfectly. With the looming threat of import restrictions into the 80s, Toyota began investing heavily in the North American market, eventually establishing plants. After failed talks with Ford to create a joint venture in 1981, a deal was struck with GM just 3 years later to start a manufacturing plant in Fremont, California. It was a win-win scenario. GM saw the partnership as a way to get access to a small, high-quality car and as an opportunity to learn about how Toyota runs their company. For Toyota, the plant was a way around any future tariffs as well as an opportunity to learn more about the American market. Near the end of the decade, Toyota introduced Lexus, a luxury-driven branch of Toyota. Before this, Toyota's Crown and Century cars were luxury cars manufactured by the company, but were only targeted towards Japanese markets, thus gaining very little international appeal. Lexus launched with the Lexus LS 400, whose success is widely thought of to be the reason Lexus's launch went so well. Now back into the 90s, where Toyota began branching out and producing more types of cars, as opposed to their mostly compact catalog in the past. These included the Tundra and multiple SUV models. They also released a sportier version of the Camry as well as sports cars like the MR2, Celica, and the Supra. Jump to 97 and Toyota released the first generation Prius, the first mass-produced hybrid in the world. To close out the decade, Toyota set up factories in Indiana, Texas, and the United Kingdom to help expand their reach and access to vehicles. Into and after the 2000s, Toyota launched Scion, a youth-targeted brand in North America. Additionally, Toyota joined Formula One, partnering with Citroën and Peugeot. During the 2008 financial crisis, Toyota had their first annual loss in 70 years. This came just months after they were number one in global automotive sales for the first quarter of that year. In 2022, Toyota earned their third straight year of the world's best-selling automaker. 2024 brought about a return to Formula One for Toyota, partnering with the US-based Haas team. Finally, to the present day, where just a month ago, the company announced that Gazoo Racing would spin off and produce vehicles under their own badge rather than Toyota's. The main selling point for a lot of people on Toyota cars is their reliability. People drive hundreds of thousands or even millions of miles in Toyotas. Aside from their reliability, Toyotas are noteworthy for how approachable they are with the car community. They're made to be easily serviceable, as well as straightforward engineering-wise. These combined make them prime candidates for car lovers. So, I ask again, how did Toyota become Toyota? The answer is the Toyota way. The set of principles and behaviors that help guide the company's approach to designing, production, and anything else they do. In his 2004 book titled The Toyota Way, University of Michigan professor of industrial engineering Dr. Jeffrey Leiker outlined 14 main principles in the Toyota Way. These principles can be categorized into 4 groups. 1. Long-term philosophy. 2. The right process will produce the right results. 3. Add value to the organization by developing your people. And 4. Continuously solving root problems drives organizational learning. Toyota only formalized the Toyota Way in 2001, but it's a culmination of over 90 years of knowledge, adaptation, and wisdom that can be applied to any organization or company. The Toyota Way's influence has resulted in the excellent reputation of Toyota, with the reliability and quality that I mentioned earlier being a direct result of their philosophy. So when people ask how Toyota became Toyota, it wasn't just selling the most cars, or Supras rewriting what street racing looked like, or even their engines refusing to die. It's because Toyota figured out something early. The consistency beats flash, that process beats shortcuts, and that building something to last will always outlive trends. The Toyota Way didn't just guide Toyota's approach to cars, it built trust. And in an industry obsessed with near-instant satisfaction, that might be the rarest thing of all.